And I have been to a few places in London, but I haven't been to everywhere. And that's what I wanted to make super clear. Because when it comes to really traveling in London, the first good thing that I'm going to say is that there's always something to do, there's always a place to see, and especially there's a place to eat as well. In London, you're lost for choice of what food and drink you can actually have. And I forgot to say as well, this video is all the good things about traveling in London. And throughout part 2, I'm going to say bad things about traveling in London. And you need to think about it. There are good things, but then there's also bad things as well. And that's why you always see people in many different places, and why London's population is so high. Because so many people living in London, they don't really have to leave London, and they only leave London when they feel like they want to change of scenery. But then people that are from outside of London, they come into London because London is very well known. And that's really a good thing as well. Because if you don't like one place in London, you can then try something else. And I forgot to say that I might mention London a lot in this video. So yeah, just watch it as normal, and yeah, I'm just going to continue. Because people start to dress good and they take care of themselves, it makes you want to take care of yourself as well. Because you have to realise, if everyone in London is dressing badly, you're going to start doing that. And it's not that you're doing it like intentionally, but because in London you see everyone dressing good, it makes you want to dress good as well. And you wouldn't want to be that person where everyone else is dressing good, but then you decided to underdress. And that's why as well, you don't want to be the odd one out. And that's why I wanted to make clear, because in London, every single person is dressing good. And it's very normal as well to actually feel like this. Because for example, you want to fit into the places that you're going to, but then also you don't want to be the odd one out in like a bad way. Because for example, if you're spending money on an outfit, it doesn't have to be the most expensive outfit, but the outfit has to suit you and it has to fit your style. And the reason why people are always wearing outfits that match in London is because they're always seeing trends, but then also as well, because they're in the city, there's always like shopping malls, there's always things to do, there's always places to see. And then also as well, because they're shopping malls, they are more likely to see clothes which match. Because not everything in London is expensive, but they have more access to food and really clothes. And that's really what I wanted to say about London, which is a good thing. Like, this video is just good things about being in London. So I have nothing bad to say in this video. But in part 2, I will say all the bad things. So maybe you might be surprised by what I'm going to say. But yeah, just stick around for this video. And the next thing that I'm going to say that's really good about being in London is because you see people cycling. Because for example, whenever you're in different areas, the only way that you're traveling from point A to point B is either driving or you're taking a train. But when it comes to really London, you're able to walk more, you're able to cycle. And if you don't see people doing that in your area, you are less likely to do that. And that's what I wanted to say, because when you're in London, you're never really going to see someone out of shape. I'm not trying to set an expectation or like a standard when it comes to someone's fitness. But the reason why I'm saying this is because you see more people walking and you see more people cycling. And that's what's really good about London, because you don't always have to drive everywhere and you don't always have to take a train. And especially if where you're going to is not even that far away. And if you want to enjoy the things that you're trying to do in London, you just need to plan things ahead of time. And it's also a bad thing as well, but the reason why I'm saying it's a good thing, because when you start to plan ahead, you won't be as stressed out. And when you're in London as well, you have so much that you're seeing. You have so many things that you actually hear about in London. Like for example, the London Eye, the Big Ben. And I wanted to say as well that London, it has so much history. And I'm no historian and I'm no expert when it comes to that. I wanted to say, when it comes to being in London, everyone does seem to enjoy themselves. And the reason for that is because people are traveling in groups, and you won't be stressed out if you start to plan your traveling ahead of time. And you have to realize as well that London, you can have a good time by yourself, but it's better to have someone else to spend time with in London. And the reason for that is because in London, there's always people around you, and the population is so high you realize that during the day and during the night it's so vibrant. And because there's more people outside, it feels normal. Because areas that you might have been to, it might be very quiet and it might not feel safe to be outside on your own at night. So many people may be working a 9 to 5 throughout the week from Monday to Friday, but then on the weekends they have a night out. And also as well, for example, you may be doing mundane things where you're just going to the shops, you may be going to have a walk in the park, but then because it's London, you always have something to do and something to see. And the last thing that I'm going to say about being in London, am I crying? Am I seriously crying? No, it's because it's so cold. During this time of the year, it's so cold that even in my last video, there was like tears coming out of my eyes because of how cold it is. And yeah, that's what I'm going to say, because when it comes to London, the weather may not be the best, but again, because of the people, it makes you enjoy the place more. And sometimes the experiences that you have is not as good unless you have good people around you. And that's why as well, you have the opportunity to meet so many people in London. And because there's people in London that have places to be, it can make you very ambitious. Because you see people, they're always in a rush. No one really has the time to really stop and ask people any questions. And that's what I've really noticed about visiting and also living in London for a bit. But the reason for that is because most people that are in London, they are normally ambitious. And if you're ambitious yourself, you should visit London, because you see the buildings as well. You see how tall the buildings are in London, and some people actually work in those buildings, and they have a lovely view of other buildings in London. And that could be a bad thing in London as well, because they're taking down like so many of the parks so that they can have like more buildings. But yeah, that's a discussion for another video. And when people are ambitious, it starts to rub off on you as well. So yeah, that's all I've got to say about being in London. Whether you're visiting London or you're living in London, do not miss out, because every single day in London is different and you're always meeting different people. And for those of you that haven't been to London, I'm not going to spoil it for you. If you have the opportunity to visit London for yourself, you should at least visit. And then if you know someone that lives in London, you can live with them. So yeah, that's all I've got to say for now, and I'll see you in another video.